welcome to Downtown Hawthorne Development, where we discuss the progress of the planning to revitalize of the downtown Hawthorne area. I'm Margaret Sharp. Our segment today will explore how the design will foster community health, engagement, and safety. We're joined by Director of Planning for the City of Hawthorne, Greg McLean, and Chris Bainan from MIG, the city's consultant. Hello and welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Hi, thanks for having us.
Pleased to be here.
Thank you so much. Let's start out with gathering places. What do you envision?
Where are the central places for the community to gather? And here we have an existing condition right here, right by St. Joseph's Church. And it's pretty typical, a commercial use and that sort of thing. Well, for the future, we think that there are some key spots like this where we can look toward having plazas and spaces to gather and be on your laptop with Wi-Fi, or teenagers to have their experiences together. We think that this would all be a part of the mobility network. People need to be able to get there by biking or walking. And a key element of gathering spaces is less is more. I think a lot of people think of parks as, oh, we need a park downtown or a gathering space, and we need a couple acres. Some of the best spaces, if you go to great cities, places in Europe and whatnot, they're just these small little pockets where people can gather and it feels safe and cozy and inviting. I also think that we can look at the vast expanse of Hawthorne Boulevard right now and think of it in terms that are more flexible. So you see in this circumstance here, why not be able to have a temporary food truck space or a festival or a farmer's market or something like that right in the middle of the street here where all the parking is, and then it can go back to parking at other times of the day. Again, this all needs to work together as an experience where we create gateways, we create pedestrian and bicycle connectivity, but those are the things we're starting to look at from a gathering standpoint.
Great.
I think it's important to remember that from Rosecrans all the way up to Imperial Highway, we're talking about 2 miles. And so one large park is not going to cut it. And so we're looking at an opportunity to do a lot of little parklets, or pocket parks as they're called. Every opportunity we can to stick one into the fabric of the city will be really a benefit.
And the great thing about these smaller spaces is they can be quite cost efficient. You don't have to, pour a bunch of concrete and get in a bunch of materials. You can have the community gather and help to create the space and do art and murals and other things that enliven the environment. That doesn't have to be such a big cost burden for the city, but the benefits are so great when you add them up.
It's going to bring the boulevard back to life.
Yeah.
Right, I think people will take an ownership over those parks,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
Great. And how do you hope to keep the area safe and well maintained?
Safety and the aspects of community and community services and programs are a big part of this plan. And it's not about the city writing a blank check and saying, hey, we're going to do everything for the community. It really is a public-private partnership. So we're looking at things such as business improvement district formation, where the retailers and shopkeepers get together and they say, hey, we're going to help fund improvements in this area, or do ambassador programs and safety programs that'll work with the police and other services of the city. I think looking at the programmatic aspects of this plan, not just what are we going to do to the street and what site are we going to build on, but the things that really touch community members from an education standpoint, from reaching out to children and overall community health is definitely a big aspect of the plan.
Another very important thing to remember is that there's safety in numbers. When you have a lot of people engaged in the activity of the street, you've got a lot of people keeping an eye on each other, and it really does make people feel safer. It's nothing more dangerous feeling than being the only one on the street. So we are hoping that the activities that we can generate through open spaces and through the economic redevelopment of the area will bring people back to the boulevard, and that should enhance the safety considerably.
I know community-oriented programs and sustainable design are very much a part of this project. Can you talk a little bit about that?
The physical elements that we can look at, whether it's solar, whether it's gray water reuse, whether it's the street infrastructure of not having the rainwater drain off to the creek or the ocean, but have it naturally percolate down. These are all things that are a part of stewarding the environment and part of creating just a better Hawthorne, not only now, but we want to be looking out a generation, 2 generations, 3 generations. These are the kids we're planning for here, and helping to educate them and create all of these things to create a more sustainable Hawthorne is a key component.
Yeah. The changes that we stimulate with this program are going to be with the city for decades.
Yeah.
And it's very important that we keep that in mind.
Great. And does having a local hospital fit into the design models?
The hospital, we had the hospital, the RFK hospital, of course it closed many years ago. It's not likely to ever be a hospital again, but we do see that there is an important need for this. And so we're looking at other options such as urgent care facilities, and we're going to be facilitating these with this plan.
Well, thank you so much. That does it for this episode of Downtown Hawthorne Development. Thank you, Greg McLean and Chris Bainan, for joining us today. Keep an eye out for future segments discussing other aspects of the Downtown Revitalization Project. Thanks for joining us.